Somewhere in western India, carved into a basalt cliff that rises 100 feet above the surrounding plain, there is a temple that should not exist. Not because it is ancient, not because it is large, but because the rock that was removed to create it, an estimated 200,000 tons of solid mountain, has never been found. It did not go anywhere anyone can explain. It simply vanished. And that is where the mystery begins. The Kailasa Temple is located in Ellora, in the state of Maharashtra, India. It is part of a larger complex of cave temples carved into a 1.2-mile stretch of basalt cliff. But Cave 16, the Kailasa, stands apart from everything around it. It is not built. It is not assembled. It was removed from the inside of a living mountain, carved from top to bottom out of a single, unbroken piece of rock. What stands today is what was left after everything else was taken away. The scale is difficult to absorb. The temple is 164 feet long, 108 feet wide, and nearly 100 feet tall, taller than the Parthenon in Athens. It contains multiple stories, open courtyards, a main shrine, dozens of sculpted panels, galleries, columns, staircases, and life-size elephant statues that appear to hold up the base of the structure. Every wall, every pillar, every figure, all of it cut from the same uninterrupted cliff. There is no seam, no joint, no place where one piece of stone was laid against another. The entire structure is one object. According to the official historical record, the Kailasa Temple was commissioned by King Krishna I of the Rashtrakuta dynasty, sometime around 757 to 775 CE. The work, as the mainstream account goes, was carried out by thousands of craftsmen over approximately 18 years. Copper plates discovered near the site describe a royal patron, a dedication to the god Shiva, and a project of enormous ambition. One account, possibly apocryphal, claims that even the king's own architect was so astonished by what he had helped create that he said, simply, "How did I do this?" Here is the problem. The official timeline requires removing roughly 200,000 tons of rock. Some estimates go higher, in 18 years. That is approximately 30 tons per day, every single day, for nearly 2 decades. For comparison, the largest excavation projects in the modern world, using diesel-powered machinery and precision explosives, operate at similar rates. The workers of the 8th century had iron chisels and wooden mallets. Even granting extraordinary skill and organization, the math does not work cleanly. And that is before you account for what was actually done with the rock. The most puzzling detail about Kailasa is not the carving. It is the absence of evidence for the carving. When you excavate 200,000 tons of basalt, that material has to go somewhere. It gets crushed, piled, dumped, carried, but it leaves a record. At Kailasa, there is no record. Archaeologists and geologists have surveyed the surrounding area extensively. No debris field has been identified. No ancient quarry dump. No rubble pile. The rock that was removed from this hillside is not in the valley below it. It is not spread across the plateau. It is not in any riverbed nearby. It is gone. Some researchers have proposed that the stone was ground into powder and washed away through a system of water channels. This would require infrastructure of its own, channels wide enough, a water supply large enough, and a process for managing abrasive slurry at enormous volume. No such infrastructure has been identified at the site. Others suggest the material was carried away by a workforce of tens of thousands, piece by piece, over a much longer time frame than the official record allows. This would push the actual construction window well beyond 18 years, possibly into centuries, which conflicts with what the inscriptions say. The carving itself adds another layer to the puzzle. Kailasa was not carved from the bottom up, the way a building is constructed. It was carved from the top down, beginning at the summit of the cliff and working toward the ground. This is the opposite of almost every other construction method in human history. Building from the top down means that every decision is permanent. There is no going back. If a carver miscalculates a dimension at the top, the error cascades through everything below. The finished temple shows no such errors. The proportions are consistent. The sculptures are precise. The structural elements are correctly aligned across multiple levels, carved without the ability to measure from the ground. Researchers who have studied the site include structural engineers, archaeologists, and materials scientists. The consensus is not that the construction was impossible. It is that the method used is not understood. The tools, the sequencing, the removal of material, none of it maps cleanly onto what we know about 8th century technology in that region or anywhere else. A team that examined the site in the 1990s noted that even with modern equipment, replicating the Kailasa Temple would be considered an exceptional engineering challenge. Several theories have been proposed by serious scholars. One suggests that an older, now lost tradition of rock-cutting technology existed in India before the period recorded in formal history, and that the Kailasa represents the last or greatest expression of that tradition. Another suggests that the construction timeline was deliberately understated in official records, and that the true duration was far longer. A third points to the precision of the carvings and argues that standardized templates or tools existed that have simply not been recovered. What none of these theories fully explains is where the rock went. The Kailasa Temple still stands in Ellora today. Visitors can walk through its corridors and stand at the base of its elephant statues and look up at carvings that have survived more than 1,200 years. The site is protected, studied, and photographed from every angle, and to this day, no one has located the 200,000 tons of mountain that were removed to create it. The rock is gone, the temple remains, and the question of how one became the other has never been answered. If this made you think, follow Forgotten Origins. More mysteries every week.